Hi, Alslem here. If you're wondering whether to play Path of Exile 1 or 2, this video will probably save you a lot of time. This is my take on comparing Path of Exile 1 and 2 based on my personal experience. First of all, I think both are very good games, and at the end of the day, it really comes down to personal preference. A bit of context? I mainly play PoE 1 because I enjoy it more, but I still jump into PoE 2 from time to time just for fun and to change things up. I've been playing 1 on console for about 5 years now, and I consider myself an intermediate player. I mostly play hardcore. This video is for new players trying to decide where to start, or players of one game wondering if they should try the other. So hopefully this helps you decide if it's worth for you. Let's start with pros of PoE 2. First, I think 2 is more accessible overall. From my experience, 1 requires a lot more dedication if you really want to progress, while 2 feels easier to get into. The graphics are also much better. It's honestly night and day. 2 is much more modern, and if you come from PoE 2 and try PoE 1, it feels like a shock at first. That said, you do get used to it over time. Another big advantage is console gameplay. 2 clearly feels like it was designed with console in mind, which is not really the case for 1. On console, 1 feels slower and more difficult to manage. The pacing is slower in 2, which can actually be a big positive if you prefer more deliberate playstyle. Another nice aspect is the community. 2 mixes PC and console players together, whereas 1, each platform is separated. The campaign is also easier to follow. In 2, things are better explained, so you don't really need a guide, even though I think better to use one. In 1, if you don't use a walkthrough, there's a good chance you'll get lost or spend time on quests that aren't that useful. Smoother animations, combat feel, modern UI design, better onboarding, better new player experience. If you know a little bit what you're doing, you don't need a build guide to do the campaign, whereas if you are not using one in PoE 1, good luck. Campaign in 2 feels a lot clearer. You can actually see what's happening. Boss fights in 2 feel more like actual encounters, more mechanics, more telegraphed attacks, less delete or be deleted instantly. And finally, on console, the market UI is much more intuitive and easier to use in PoE 2. Now let's look at why I still prefer PoE 1. Personally, I tend to enjoy more complex games. The kind where you need to invest a lot of time to really understand what's going on. 1 rewards that a lot more. The more time you spend learning the game, reading guides, and improving little by little, the more satisfying it feels. Another big difference is the pacing. 1 is much faster, and I really like that. You're constantly making quick decisions, reacting on the fly, and moving very quickly through content. Movement skills are also a big part of that. You have multiple travel skills, and that makes the gameplay feel way more dynamic and fluid compared to 2. I also prefer the socket system in 1. It's more complex, but that complexity gives you a lot more flexibility and possibilities when it comes to builds. Another important point is that 1 is a much more mature game. It's been around for many years, while 2 is still not fully released. So naturally, 1 just has more systems, more content, and more depth overall. There are also a lot more league mechanics in 1, which adds even more variety to the gameplay. When it comes to guides, 1 also has a big advantage. Crafting is way deeper and more developed. I also think that endgame is also deeper. 1 rewards efficiency and optimization more. Conclusion. So in the end, I think 1 and 2 are trying to deliver 2 very different experiences. One is all about depth speed, and long-term mastery. It rewards the time you invest into learning the game, optimizing your builds, and pushing your character to become extremely powerful. 2, on the other hand, focuses more on accessibility, clarity, and a slower, more deliberate experience. It's easier to get into, easier to understand, and feels more modern overall. So the real question isn't which one is better, it's which one is better for you. If you enjoy complex systems, fast gameplay, and a strong power fantasy, you'll probably prefer one. But if you want something more approachable, more readable, and a bit less overwhelming, 2 might be the better choice here. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with playing both. Hope you enjoyed. Take care, everyone.